Tonight on Behind the Details with Chelsea, I'm thrilled to be joined by Eddie Colon to interview Adam Dzieran from Dragos Detailing. You've probably seen some of his hilarious content on Instagram and TikTok, and tonight we're going to find out a little bit more about Adam, how he got his start in the detailing industry, some tips on how he makes his amazing content, and so much more. So let's go ahead and get started with the show. Good evening, everybody. We're back for take two because the first time that I did this with Adam, the audio, we were having some malfunctions, and I figured let's make this more fun and bring Eddie Colon on because it's
And I
always a
heard
good
that
time.
Adam sucked the first interview. Like he sucked.
No,
Oh,
he did
my
not
Lord.
suck. I was telling Eddie before you joined Adam that you are a little bit more shy than I anticipated. I see this like larger than life personality in social media, and then when you and I did our one-on-one, you were just, I can tell you're a Southern boy to start. You were like very respectful and polite, and you don't need to call me ma'am. I'm not that much older. I don't think I'm that much older than you, but I figured Eddie would just bring the fun and help relax everyone a little bit. So thanks, Eddie, for joining me. Thank you, Adam, for
Every friend
joining
needs a
me.
colored person.
But I want this to be for everyone to kind of get to know you a little bit, Adam, because you're kind of, I don't want to say you're new to the game, but in the last year, I've seen so much more from you in social media and within the detailing industry. And it's been exciting to see just your personality and the life that you bring to the detailing game. So I want to make this about you, not me, and get to know you a little bit. So if you wouldn't mind, just kind of share with us a little bit, like what were some of the influences that you had growing up? Like, what was it like for you growing up that influenced you to be drawn towards detailing?
Sure. First off, thank you guys so much for having me on here. This is very exciting for me. So, but my growing up, it was I had a pretty smooth childhood, I guess you could say. My dad was in the military. He was a Navy SEAL, and he was very I was very disciplined as a kid. So I think that's where it all stemmed from with detailing. I always liked everything really clean. So I did start working at um, a dealership. I'm sorry. I started working at a dealership when I was,
Lord, he didn't even know where he worked.
yeah, Eddie's putting the pressure on. So
No, I'm trying to help you breathe a little
Hey,
bit.
hey, real quick, having a dad that's a Navy SEAL, right?
Mhm.
How was that? Because they don't play games. They execute, and I read this book called Extreme Ownership. They don't make excuses, and they get stuff done. How was that when you were growing up to have a father that's been through it all?
We can imagine how strict it was. Yeah.
It was it was awesome, to be honest. Like my dad, he was I really didn't know what he did. I knew he was in the Navy until I was around, I think, 10 or 11 years old. So he's really he doesn't talk a lot about what goes on over there. So he's very kind of low key as far as all that kind of stuff goes. But he recently came out with a book and has kind of been opening up on the internet about some stuff and everything. So it's really cool to kind of watch his story, especially like growing up. I didn't really know a lot of these things about him. So
What
my
was
mom and him split up when I was around 11 or 12 years old. So um, I kind of stayed with my mom. She raised me for the most part, but growing up with my dad, it was super cool. So.
Did you have to live on military bases when you were growing up with him in the Navy?
No, we didn't stay on the base, but we stayed around a mile from the naval base.
Curious, what's the name of your dad's book? Do you happen to know?
It's A Pledge to America.
That's cool. I'll have to
That's
check that
crazy.
out. So,
I think it's.
anyways,
Oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
Eddie.
All right, Chelsea. I read like I only asked because I saw a post of his dad in his looks like a Master Chief uniform with the. That's pretty dope, man. I mean, to have a dad that's you could say my dad's a Navy SEAL in reality could kick everyone's anus, right? Like my dad, you ever grew up like my dad could beat up your dad. Your dad could really beat up your dad.
No, for sure. My dad was actually a Marine, and he
Oh,
kind of
that's
is the one that taught me how to clean. You get down and you look up. And every time I clean an interior of a vehicle, I hear my dad in my head saying, "Get down and look up." And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna find when I do that, but I think it's a little unique when you have a parent who's been in the military, just the discipline and the work ethic that they try to instill in you. So I can't imagine Navy SEAL. My dad
oh
like
gosh,
served in the
Marines are
office
even
at the
tough
White
too.
House and stuff, so he didn't necessarily see war or anything like that, but I can understand the discipline that that teaches.
So I use his he doesn't realize how much of an impact he's had on my life. I don't really talk to him much about this kind of thing. We're not really a very touchy-feely, huggy family. So, but every time I'm going through something tough or whatever, I think, you know what? My dad was shot at in Afghanistan when it was 110 degrees with a rucksack and gear on. Whatever I'm going through, it's not it's not that bad. So that's I use that to kind of get me through any kind of tough situation. I really have no room to complain about anything. So.
Hmm. So then you kind of went straight from, growing up with a dad in the military to working at a dealership.
Mhm.
What was it like for you, like high school growing up? What were some of the influences that you had that kind of helped give you the personality that you have today?
I don't know a whole lot about high school. I didn't finish that.
Okay.
So I dropped out my 10th grade year, I
Okay.
believe, and still on the search for my GED and all of that stuff. So it'll come with time, I guess. I just hadn't felt like doing it. So
So,
what made you go that route? Like, because I struggled in high school. I don't know what it is. I think I told Chelsea, I don't say much, but I have to pop pills because I'm one of those that if I'm interested, I'm all in. If I'm not, I get like squirrel. So I have to pop these addies just to stay focused at work, right? So what
did
made
you
you
did you
say,
take one today?
man, I should have because I didn't know this podcast was gonna be this intense. Adam staring at my soul, Chelsea staring at my face. Go Eagles, by the way. Hey, but for you, yeah, dude, Eagles whoop Chiefs. I know. Hey, to you, Adam, like, what made you say enough's enough at 10th grade?
I couldn't stand school. I couldn't stand sitting there and listening to a teacher. I didn't want to be a teacher when I grew up. I couldn't relate to anything they were talking about, history or anything. It just wasn't benefiting me in the real world. So I don't know. My mom let me do kind of homeschooling on my own. I did that for around a year. We moved around a couple more times after we lived in Texas when I went to that high school and dropped out. Um, and so I just kind of stopped doing that. I guess we were moving around so much. So
So then you went from Texas. When did you land in Mississippi where you're at now?
2010 or 2011, something along those lines.
Okay. So then what was your first job?
Uh, when I lived in Texas or when I moved here.
What was your first job as a kid?
I was worked
Very
at the
complicated, Adam. I was like, what? When? What
Or
job? What job?
First job.
Adam's like, I don't like where this is going, guys.
How many first jobs did you really have, Adam?
Yeah, like 8.
my very first job back in Texas was working at a dealership. I think I
Okay.
just turned 16 and got my license. I was able to drive and I started working at that dealership detailing cars. So
What was it like for you as far as education? Was there any training when you were working at the dealership? And do you feel like that's what kind of gave you the bug for detailing?
yeah, I believe so. I That's when around the time I got my first car, so I was taking care of it, and then the dealership sent me to like a 2-day training course with Auto Bright is the company name, and I think they still do
Mhm.
training in Texas to this day. But I don't know how much it was or anything like that. The dealership, I was blessed with the dealership being able to put me through that. So we just learned like the basic in and outs of polishing, interior work, a little bit of interior cleaning and detailing and stuff. So but I will say that what we do as detailers now is night and day difference from what I was doing at that dealership. Yeah, of course, I'm sure you guys know how dealerships do with their detailing. It's a sucking and a blowing, and then it's a washing. So that's basically it.
Yeah,
But
the dealership near us pretty much just runs it through an automatic car wash, and
mhm.
I don't even know what they do on the interior other than spray paint things. So I I don't have a huge love for dealership detailing in this area, but I know that that's not the standard for everyone across the board. But when it comes to paint correction, did you have to do wet sanding and polishing at the dealership, or did you kind of learn that on your own? Because I've seen
That's
some of the videos that you do, and you do some really amazing paint correction work.
thank you so
Mm,
much.
thanks, buddy.
I'm not at Eddie
I'm
level, but
joking. I turn and burn, bro. It's like salvation all over with these cars.
Well,
I'm
when
like,
you say burn, you ain't kidding either.
hey, I'm burning edges. I'm like, I'm growing up. I'm exercising my right to use my insurance.
so for the most part, when it came to paint correction, like the dealership we did like the first day, it was like paint correction, and it was just a very basic class on polishing. We did a little bit of compound work, which it kind of shows you the difference between a aggressive compound and a polish and some of the different pads. I didn't really get too into depth with it. It was like a 2 hour portion of that class on the exterior
Mhm.
side of things, but most of it I've learned, and this sounds rough, but starting out, it was trial and error on people's cars. Mostly it was mine starting out, my vehicle,
That's always
and
safe.
it's my truck has got so many different spots that probably have no clear coat or anything left on it from practicing on my vehicle so much. But yeah, so that's where it mostly started. And then I got my first few vehicles and I would do a test spot. I still do this to this day to figure out what pad works best for what paint and what compound or polish or whatever. So
When it comes to like starting your detailing business, you told me last night that you kind of started off just doing weekend stuff, side hustle stuff, until the point where you were how far out?
I was booked. I was booking 3 months out as working with my other full time job. So, and what it was my other full time job was 12-hour shifts, but it was 2 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 2 days off.
Okay.
So on my off days, I would detail, and then I would edit the video. It would take 3 to 6 hours back when I really didn't know a whole lot about video editing and stuff. And like I said yesterday, this with CapCut, what I was doing was taking an entire 3 minute clip of like just the wheel. I would put it on my phone on that app, and then I would slide my thumb all the way to one side and then slide it from the other side to get that 0.5 second clip. I didn't know you could go through and just chop the clip up into
Man,
different
you did it. You
sections and
did it
then
old school, bro. You did it.
I
I
did
think we
that for
all
like
did
six
that the
months.
first couple videos.
No, I
Yeah,
YouTube mine. I was like,
Yeah, thank God for transitions and being able to split things
can I ask you a question
nowadays.
about your detailing business, Adam? I guess so. Are
sure.
you working full time as a detailer?
Yeah,
And how long did it take you to go from? Because it's a you're how do I say this? When you're Chelsea, no offense, like I'm the breadwinner at my house, right?
No offense
Chelsea
taken.
works to grind to make sure she gets what she needs for her kids. For you, I'm assuming, are you the breadwinner in your home?
for sure. And shout out to TikTok.
Yeah. So how'd you say at one point when you got a steady job? I call it steady because detailing is never steady, right? It's one of those things that it's a luxury item.
Yeah, so it's for
How'd
sure.
you go from like, Lord, I'm gonna wake up one day, give my boss the finger, and I'm gonna dive into detailing? Like, how did that happen?
Like when I was doing this on the side, it took me about roughly 4 to 5 months because they cut our hours down at work. So I was down to 2 days one week, 4 days the next week. So I had a lot
Oof.
of time to spend at the house. So I kept telling my wife, I've got to figure something out. We got to do something. So I started detailing again. And keep in mind, when I worked at that dealership detailing, I found a passion. I enjoyed it, but I never really figured it would kind of escalate to where I could make it work as a full-time job. So as I was doing it on the side at my other job, I would raise my prices like every couple months just by a little bit, say 20 or 40 bucks. And then it got to where one detail, I was making as much from one detail as I made in a day at my other job. So then I kind of adjusted things from there. And I think in about 4 months, I was able to quit my normal job and substitute my complete income and a little bit more with just detailing. So it was a blessing, and shout out to my customers and clients and everything. So
Now, does your wife does she work at all?
yeah, she does insurance for an insurance company. I'm not sure exactly what she does, but she's on the computer. She doesn't have to be on the phone or anything. She
Okay.
just has to be on the computer. So
And she works from home?
yes.
And your kids, how old are they?
I've got a 1.5-year-old and a 4-year-old.
You guys are busy.
A game
But yeah,
changer, right? It changed you, huh? Your first
shout,
kid.
shout out to my wife, because if it wasn't for her, I told her I've got to give her a shout out on here because I owe her a lot of credit for what she does every day. She keeps both of them. We don't pay a daycare or anything. She does
That's
her full
awesome.
time job, and she kind of gives me my space to breathe out there and get to work. So shout out to her.
Being a female and doing this, understanding, I mean, parents, I feel I don't want to come off as sexist because I understand like husbands and wives, it is a team duo, but I do feel sometimes in some relationships that the bulk of the work does fall on the female. So I have a lot of respect for your wife in giving you that because
You can say
there
that proudly. Women are the you women. Look, I'm gonna say it from a dude who was married. You women are special.
I
Like,
sometimes get jealous of other people that have that, like men who have that ability to just unplug from family life and trust that the wife has got this and then go do the work, because it's hard for me sometimes to be able to do that, because literally as I'm sitting here talking to you guys, my son is texting me as the flu downstairs, and he's texting me saying, I have a sore throat, what do I take? And I'm like, I'm busy. And it's hard to just disengage. So
yeah, but like
definite.
Chelsea, for you to like, I know this is all about Adam, but he mentioned his wife, and I think this is a good segue to say this. Like, for you to run a detail business, do a YouTube, to be a mom, to be a wife, hey, bravo to you because you're killing it. Like, I think from Adam, you agree with me, right? Like, without our
Absolutely,
wives, we'll be worthless.
for
Like at
sure.
the end of the day, it's like to have someone who could say, "Hey, I believe in your dream,"
Mhm.
and then help you lift you up, even though you heavy as hell. You know, you big. They help you lift you up to get to your dream, so that they could take a back seat and be just the arm can't. I know there's a lot going on here, but like I saw Adam at SEMA, and the first thing he always did was make sure his wife was near him. You know, like grab her hand and things of that nature. Says a lot about your character, Adam. Don't suck as a dad though. And then to see Chelsea how she just grinds and always puts her kids first. I just think bravo to women, dude. Bravo to
See,
moms because you
and
guys do
a
it.
lot of people, they don't understand looking on the outside looking in, and I was one of those people before I started making content that I would hear someone say, "Oh, I gotta make content, you know, it's a grind, this and that," and it used to like it's like, "That's not a grind, that's making a video." But now that I'm on this side of the fence,
It's a grind.
it's 110% a grind.
It's a
Yep,
Yeah.
struggle,
for
dude.
sure.
It's a
It's
struggle.
really, I think the hardest is struggle for me is setting boundaries with work, because we don't have the typical clock in, clock out 8 to 5 job. We could have it 24 hours a day if we let it. And when you've got kids, when you've got responsibilities, and I mean, you're dealing, Eddie, with a wife who's been going through cancer, and I can only imagine just all of that. That in and of itself is a full-time job, just dealing with doctor's appointments and just being there to help her and all this stuff. So yeah, it's definitely when you take detailing as a job and then combine it with social media.
Freaking sucks.
Some people think it's the dream, it's the goal to reach for, and I'm like, you're a little masochistic, aren't you? Because
Because you think about it, even I bet you all of us do it at one point, right? Like sometimes I just want to detail and listen to music. I don't want to
yeah,
pick the camera up. I
hmm
don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to make it short. I want to sit there. I want to breathe hard, and I want to polish paint, listening to like Nessie Dorma, or sometimes I put the classical on. People think I'm listening to Tupac, like I put classical on, or sometimes I put Spanish music on. Like sometimes I just want to chill and
yeah.
detail. So then my question for you, Adam, is like when you're detailing, how do you find that balance between being a dad, a husband, and making sure that you're keeping your family afloat financially?
Um, I wish I knew. So as far as the financial thing goes, it's just a stick with it kind of thing. So I just stick with doing it. And there's days, like you said, where I just don't want to record or video or anything. And I would rather just go out there, put music on, and enjoy what I enjoy doing is detailing. So, but what was the question again?
Now, how do you manage it all?
Uh, um, it stems a lot from my wife because she holds it down inside while I'm out there, and I do come in every now and then, check on the kids and
Are you
everything.
still alive?
Right. And make sure everybody's still breathing. So
Yeah, I know there are days that I get, I'll be in the middle of filming. My husband has learned I feel like I need a red light outside of the mudroom for them to know when I'm filming, because there are many days that I'll be in the middle of, a total amazing dialogue that I've just nailed it. Everything's impromptu with me. So like if I get the words and there's no made up words, I can get my tongue around it. And then someone will come out and be like, she, and I'm like, like,
it
or my
it looks
husband,
like
"You better get in here before I murder your kids." I'm just like, "Okay." Like, it can be a lot working from home with a family, especially when you've got younger ones. But what do you guys, as far as communication when you're filming with content creation, like, how do you manage that? Or do you just have a lot of edits that you do? I'd love to
uh,
see that back roll. Like
I,
the
I actually
bloopers with the
had
kids.
I actually had somebody message me today asking if I could do a video on how I edit my videos. So I thought I would do something like that today because I had a client cancel today because it's pouring down rain. It's 40 degrees here. So who wants to get their car washed while it's raining? I've had a few of them, but it doesn't really make sense. So I might go out there and shoot that video later. But as far as like the kids go and stuff like that, I thought about, kind of keeping it lighthearted and including them in some of my videos and everything. Eddie kind of brought that up a while back to include them in that. And that video that I included my daughter in her little princess outfit in because she wanted to be in the video,
That's
it
my favorite.
it did pretty good. So it's I'll have to do that more often.
That's actually the first video that I ever saw from you, and I instantly fell in love because you were just one, the hilarious cowboy hat, and then she's coming out there with her little princess dress. She's like, "Can I be in your video, Daddy?" It really made me remember those early days when I started social media with my daughter, and I was just instantly like, "We're kindred spirits. I got you." But when it comes to content creation, like, how do you decide what cars are candidates for your content? Like, do you talk to the customers ahead of time to get approval? And, does it always work out the way that you want?
No, not exactly. I look for a lot of there's a certain kind of dirt that I want to see when I'm doing a video. Most of the time, you can look at a vehicle, and if it's like a relatively filthy vehicle that looks like it's going to clean up very well, sometimes they do great with the after shots. Sometimes it'll have a lot of damage on the interior, a lot of damage on the exterior, and it's just hard to make it look good on camera, to be honest. So a lot of those vehicles that are messed up inside of it or pretty hammered. I don't post a lot of those. So
Why not? Like, isn't that what people want? Like, here's what I've learned: people want the dirty, dirty. Like when Chelsea puts a cleaning the interior of a car that looks gross. I call me bougie, call you what you will. I'm not touching it. Those cars, if I have to use more than two products to clean that mug, send it somewhere else.
You
Um,
just have your daughter do it.
yeah, but even then, she's getting to the point where she's like, "Dad,
Yeah.
is this really valuable to me?" I go, "What?" So you're first of all, you're too young to know what its value is, right? Second of all, if you go work at McDonald's, you can't be like, "I don't feel like flipping quarter pounders with cheese," right? You got to get the job done. Um, But it's also like health reasons, like throw up. I wouldn't
Mm,
touch that, dude. Like for some
yeah.
reason, gosh, even thinking about it, like don't people want to see the dirty, dirty? They want to see the
yeah,
intimate nastiness.
Yeah,
they
but
they
what
do want to see that, but at the same time, that's not the kind of clients that I want. I have clients with very, you know, upkept vehicles that pay top dollar for their detail and they value my work. So that's the kind of clients that I want to
Mhm.
keep around. I don't want the disaster detail that wants to fight me and negotiate with pricing and all that. So
to that point though, Eddie, though, I think you and I talked about this, Adam, last night. Like sometimes the details that are the hardest to do, you just don't have the time to film and do the detail. Like the ones that for me in my head would be like viral videos that I'm just like, man alive, I would freaking like take off on social media. It kills me that those are the ones that I need every single minute to get the detail done and to add the hour or two to move the tripod around, line up the shot, do the narrative. Like sometimes I can do a voiceover and get it done. And that those are the ones that sometimes I'll do a time lapse because I'm like, just, look at it. But it's really hard to get an angle just right sometimes. And so then there's times that I'm like, I don't have the time to mess around with filming, just get the job done. And
right.
those are the ones that break my heart because I know they would be killer.
Do both of you seem like when you do videos like Drago, you and then Chelsea, you've been doing it a long time, that sometimes your detail suffers because you're so focused on the video?
Absolutely. And so I think of that same thing while I'm videoing sometimes. And I'm like, if I get a vehicle that's so bad, Chelsea kind of just covered this in a way. If I get a vehicle that's so bad, I think, okay, I can either deliver results, uh, better results, spend a little bit more time working, or I can video it and get mediocre results. And it's details like that's another reason why I don't video when I get one that's so bad because I'm focused on trying to do a good job and make the client happy. So it's finding a balance. And I do have some clients that look forward to a video, and it's like sometimes I just don't have that kind of time.
Mhm.
Um,
I think for me though, I honestly sometimes when I'm videoing because of my ADHD, And I'm the type of person that if something is really daunting, I tend to procrastinate and push it off. I've had so many like disaster details that I won't even start until like 11, 12 because I'm like, I have to work up the motivation to do it.
She has to hype herself up. She has
I
to listen to
do.
hype music.
I do. I mean, there's I'm editing a video right now where I literally was in the car like trying to hype myself up just to get motivated.
That's
But
wild.
the action of filming keeps me focused. It kind of is in a way there's a technique with people who have ADHD where they call it body doubling, where when you simply just have someone sitting there with you doing it, it helps keep your mind engaged and focused. Like my husband can come out and just sit with a beer, just scrolling on his phone, and for some reason, I can just say so much more focused on it, and videoing has in a way become that way to help keep me focused and engaged. So it does help me, I think, to not just like I can hyper
Yeah,
focus on
that's
it because
tough.
the video then is my job to get things done. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not every single one, and there are certain ones that I just literally want to take a match and burn it on fire and just be like, "This is not worth my energy. Like, I hate this car." This. I mean, my husband will come out, and if I say the words, he's like, "How's it going?" And I'm like, "I hate this car." He's like, "Okay," walking away.
For Drago, what are you what's your goals? Like you're coming up, right? You've been TikTok is in and out. For me, TikTok is so unstable. It's like that chick that you should have dumped in high school, but you keep going back to her. Especially your boyfriend, and you're like, I should have left that man back in college, right? So, how do you? What's the future for like? What's your next step? Are you gonna stay on TikTok, hoping it stays there, or are you gonna pivot? And then, how's that look like long
I'm
term?
gonna I'm gonna ride it out
Oh gosh,
until it
you
shuts down. The
salute,
when it shuts down,
salute,
I'm coming over to YouTube.
salute to the man writing it out. Because
Do you feel like there's a different editing style from TikTok to YouTube?
oh yeah,
Like, how
yeah,
do you master that audience and understanding the shift? Because, like, Adam and I were talking about this last night and quite in length. Like, I feel like I'm specifically best suited at long form content. I have way too much that I want to say that I cannot get it in a minute and a half or even 3 minutes. For those that want to do more entertainment, not lean so much more on the education side, I feel like the short form content like that's perfect for you. But like, how do you master switching between the two, Eddie or Adam?
not me.
So
I
for
don't mess. I don't do TikTok. I think it's a waste of time.
Do you do Instagram at all?
I just barely, and I die. I die inside every time I do Instagram. I think Instagram. Look, you know what made me viral, Drago? You know how you make yourself viral? You know what made me viral on TikTok? I had 1.5 million views.
What's that?
Ivan LaCroix. That dude just took a brush to paint, dummy viral. Dummy viral. That's the last time I decided that this was worth it. I'm interested to hear this man's thoughts because
So
he's wild. He's
with
wild.
with TikTok, like I said, I'm gonna ride that out till it completely shuts down. You know, we had the ban not long ago, but I'm definitely gonna start working on my YouTube videos and hold my phone sideways. But as far as like TikTok and YouTube, the difference for me, it's like YouTube is like Harvard. It's very, very hard to go viral. It's very hard and grindy to get, you know, a lot of subscribers. TikTok is like a community college. It is super easy to go viral, to have a video go viral. The challenge for me is just maintaining audience retention. So like you'll see a lot of TikTokers with like a whole bunch of followers and everything, and then they're getting 1,000 to 2,000 views a video, and that keeps me up at night. I hope that doesn't happen to me. So I try to keep it fresh and interesting on there, and so
Adam asked me this question last night, and I'm kind of curious for your thoughts, Eddie. Like, how do you manage like consistency with publishing on social media, and what do you think is the magic equation for growing a channel?
You know, this is crazy because I've been thinking about this for the last 2 weeks. Literally, the question I've been sitting there and I write in this book. I write. Do you guys journal at all? It's probably stupid as hell, but I journal. I started journaling because I'm getting old and I'm forgetting. Right, so I started writing things down, and there was this thought like, what's gonna make this go past 8,000? For
Mm.
you, it's like 40, right? For me, it's like, what am I gonna do to get past 8,000? Because I want to be myself, but people hate who I am. Like sometimes the way I speak doesn't jive with people. You know, it's that nomenclature. He's from the East Coast. He's a prick, but I'm not. I'm not, I'm not a prick. Like I come off that way, right? It's just very. So I started just watching. There's a couple things I want to do differently, and I think this is what. Hopefully, I'm answering your question. Is I want to change my thumbnail game, right? Because I can still be myself, but if you capture them for that 2 seconds and you see a thumbnail, I don't bring them in. And then I want to change to just being savage to being teaching to start teaching because I have a lot to say. I just don't say it because I feel like everybody's journey is different, right? So the they say hard roads lead to beautiful destinations, and we all have to walk our own road. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I can't copy Pan or you or can't copy Ammo or I can't do that. I can't be Drago. I gotta be myself. But then they've already paved their road.
Mhm.
So if I try to copy them or you, I'm never gonna be myself or get to where I want to go. So I wrote down three things that I think that's gonna help me stay motivated because it's when you work hard for a video and you get 1,000 views, it
Yeah.
blows, right? It sucks. You're like, oh snap, that took a long time to edit that mug. 1,000 views sucks. The big, you know.
Yeah.
So three things is change my thumbnail, change my approach, and stay consistent. So if I can stay consistent, because sometimes I'll drop on a Saturday. Bro, you're competing with like
Yeah.
cartoons on Saturday, like Cartoon Network on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Cartoon Network.
competing with Pan.
Well, you're competing with like 90 people on a Saturday, and it's like, okay, they're gonna watch him, you, they, her, and then they might watch you at night. So find a day that works for you. But be consistent on that day. And then it's like your thumbnail stop sucking because it's so easy to get lazy. And we'll spend $10 on a coffee, but we won't spend $10 to make our thumbnail good. Does that make sense? This is
Yeah.
how Eddie's been thinking because I've been
No.
struggling with this. Like this ain't we don't got a community, bro. You're fighting for every subscriber you get.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that
I don't know.
was
I don't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Adam.
I don't know how to make a thumbnail, Eddie. I need you to show me.
Photo Grid, the app.
Is that an app?
Pay for the premium. There's a ton more that you can do within it. And I'm not going to say that I'm a master at it. My thumbnail game is definitely evolving. I feel like I'm getting better at it. The one thing that I've done, I literally will go into YouTube, search kind of the idea of what it is that I am trying to accomplish with my video, see what videos are similar, then see what what those views were and what those thumbnails look like. And I'm not saying copy it, but it inspires me. It gives me ideas because I never went to school for website design or photo design or anything like that. All of us are kind of in the school of life just trying to figure this out as we go. But when it comes to thumbnails, I definitely get inspiration from those bigger ones and I see, okay, can I somehow make that my own? I know everyone right now is saying that if you do a thumbnail with an expression like this,
Do you get
or
mad views? You get
or
dumb views.
you know,
You
it's
get dummy
real, but
views.
it works.
You get dummy views.
Yeah. And you can literally just go to Google, type in like shocked face JPG, you know, put it into it, cut out the face, put an outline around it, and have like the cool thing. Or you can, I've seen some guys just have the standard. Like Ivan has a couple poses that I'm pretty sure Sylvie took of him, where he's like, like that, and they all work. But yeah, when it comes to thumbnails, I agree with you, Eddie. I feel like the direction for some people is just that little bit of a clickbait with a thumbnail. But one thing that when I was at the Creator Summit, and you and I were talking about this, Adam, last night, Payne, the organizer, was there, and he shared with us some tips on how to grow our social media content. The one thing he said was really just find the format that you feel like best suits you. Find one channel, be it Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, find that one and just do it well instead of trying to do all of them. Okay, I'd rather, like, I figured out I suck at TikTok, I suck at Instagram. I might do them every now and then, but I feel a little bit of imposter syndrome. I am way too old to try to even tackle TikTok or Instagram.
Adam has it
So
down, dude. This guy is dummy viral. He makes a video of
I know.
sombrero hat. He comes in, he flicks everybody off in camera, starts to hold the pump dump with the IK, and I'm watching it like this. I'm like,
He freaking he literally stabbed one of your boxes, and I was like, I
yeah, it's
freaking
like
love it.
that's how I was already broke. UPS already messed it up, so he did 1,000 half.
I was concerned. I was like, man, I hope I didn't puncture these bags or anything. But I
I
made
think
sure I didn't do it hard. I just did it fast. You know what I'm saying? So,
But what inspires you, Adam, when it comes to your content? Like, how do you come up with some of your fresh ideas?
um, I really, I just come up with it on the fly. Sometimes if I'm sitting in the house and I'm in the mood to make some content and I get a fresh idea, to the garage. Got to get it out. Got to do it while I'm in the content creating mood, like while I have that kind of comedy energy or whatever. So,
Does that normally involve Mountain Dew or something like that?
Monster, yeah. I drink about 3 or 4 energy drinks a day.
oh gosh, bro, you're gonna have to
Holy
start drinking.
crap.
Nah, that, I
Yeah.
mean, oh
I
lord,
thought Eddie was bad with his Adderalls.
dude, I'm popping Adderalls like it's weed.
So, what has
Just these
been
I'm like, bro. I'm like,
what has been your biggest challenge when it comes to content creation? And then if you could do like a part B with detailing.
I'm gonna say consistency right off the rip because once you start doing it, it's easy. I'd say it was easy for me for the first 6 to 8 months to post almost every other day, and that's just with short-term videos like 1 to 3 minute long shorts. But as time went on and I kept doing the same process over and over as far as the detailing goes, it gets really repetitive. So finding that motivation to stay consistent for me, it kind of dwindled after about 6 to 8 months. So I've been just kind of pushing through it and trying to come up with some new, fresh ideas to keep people entertained and educate as much as I can.
Yeah, it is hard to make washing a wheel exciting time after time after time.
Right.
I think you've done a really great job at keeping it fresh. Even just your angry throwing your brushes into your buckets and all of the kind of fun little things that you throw in there. They're unique to you. If I were to try to do that, it would just come off really like Chelsea's having an off day.
Well,
Eddie,
thank
what are
you.
some of the like things that you would recommend for keeping things fresh? Like what has worked well for you?
that's what I'm struggling with. So like, it's like, what's my, so man, it's so weird because I would love to be like a Carlos Serrano. Like they don't give that man enough credit.
Yeah, he's really good.
The guy
That's a worker
pulls
bee.
everything out of the freaking car. I would love to do that. I would love to be like you and put up a canopy and wash half a van, half the other van. So it's, I mean, creative is what you want to stay in your niche because detailing is such a niche.
Yeah.
So we all have the same audience almost. It's just how are you gaining audience outside of that?
We really
Uh,
do have the same audiences.
yeah, everyone. There's some that like Pan has the older guys that they love him and hate when soap is late. You got the disaster detailers who they just love to watch stuff be torn up and fixed. I mean, for me, it's to stay fresh, is to find in your avenue, what can you do to be different?
For sure.
Um, make your own jokes. Like Adam does it well. If you look at all his videos, he changes it up, but he's still in the same lane. Like it's just you just gotta keep it fun. And don't lose yourself in the process because when you want to be like someone else, you end up not being yourself.
Hmm.
And I refuse to do that. I refuse to be like anybody else.
You definitely are like nobody else.
Thank
You
God.
made that comment earlier though that some people I freaking love your personality, Eddie. Like you're one of my favorite channels to watch because you just keep it real. I would rather someone be a little rough around the edges and authentic than the most polite person out there and politically correct and say all the right things and do all I like that's not real. That's not life. So,
Yeah, you get it because you're from the East Coast. A lot of people are like, "This guy's a total prick." Like, what's funny is I got called a bully, and I was like, "Man, what's that mean?" Like,
I think the world needs more bullies, I'll be
I was
honest
like,
with
"Well,
you.
what's that mean?" Like Adam, right? Like, it's not really bullying. It's like you're very sure. I don't like bullies. I don't know. It's just weird. People have their own persona of what they want you to be, and then you end up being something totally different. I think when I first started YouTube, I don't know if any of you have experienced this. Have you ever got comments like this? Hate the way you talk.
People are too kind to me, I think, because I'm a woman.
Really?
I
I
have
don't
had a
really
couple comments like
have negative comments. The only time that I've ever had negative comments was
We'll
when
start giving you all
I
the comments too.
did videos with people who had larger channels. Like I did a video with Pan. I had more hateful comments in that video than any other experience because it was a larger audience, obviously. And I was like, I really don't want to go viral or be big if that's what I have to deal with as I grow. I kind of like where I'm at now because my viewers are very nice and respectful. Do you guys have to deal with a lot of haters on your
I want to
channels?
hear Adams
Yeah.
because I bet
I
Adams
could
gets stabbed,
I
dude.
mean,
I
you're
could
at
write a
TikTok, so you're like mean millennials.
yeah, I could write a book with some hater comments for sure. The cool thing about it is TikTok just changed it to where you get paid for engagement. So all those hater comments
Ooh,
that roll in, I'll be hating back to them.
hating to the bank.
I get paid for my insults now, so it's great.
They see me rolling.
They hating. They talk and keep on hating.
How do you handle hateful comments like that though? Because like on YouTube, I can just delete it and not dwell on that. I have another ADHD thing is rejection sensitivity dysmorphia. It's like RSD, and I just fixate and dwell on like the one negative thing that can happen
You
in my
do.
day.
I've learned that about you.
I
Someone said
hate it
one
about
comment.
myself.
This is why I don't comment on people's videos because sometimes I'd be like, Chelsea, why are you wearing flip flops with Dark Fury? Like you are a real Chelsea goes ham. She wears flip flops.
No one makes those
She
comments
doesn't
though.
wear she doesn't wear gloves. I'm like, she's the real one. Cause hey, Chelsea she be putting that dark chocolate, that stuff all over, and she's just, hey guys, just
That stuff stains my driveway.
yeah. Chelsea doesn't care. Chelsea, this is what I love about your videos. You are real life.
Ignorant? I'm ignorant.
No, you just don't, you're YOLO. You just YOLO all of it. I'm like, dang man, I wear Crocs and I get nailed to the cross. I
Well,
wear Crocs, Chelsea, and get like, you guys gotta wear PPE.
honestly, I feel like
consequences.
anyone who wears Crocs is gonna
All the
get nailed,
time now.
unless you're 13 with like high
Oh,
ankle socks or like whatever.
you
That
got
is
some
the.
Ninja Turtle sneakers, not taking over the Crocs. I wish somebody would.
I tried polishing in Crocs one time, and I was like, "What am I wearing?" Like I couldn't even handle my own
But
feet.
you'll
But
wear flip flops.
I'm from Florida. Everyone, like, I lived in
Not
flip
in.
flops. I grew up in Florida till I was 17. Like, I am still a Florida girl in spirit. I own
Bro,
like 13 different colors. I also grew up from the
Drago,
generation
you
where
be
Old
using
Navy
the
flip
most
flops were the
caustic
bomb.
chemical, Drago. Adam, she'll walk out. She walks out, no gloves, flip flops. She's got suntan lotion on, bro, and
I
she's
don't wear
in
suntan.
all of the smells. She's like,
I do need to work on protection better, though. I do need to wear
no, but
gloves.
I only made that because that one comment that really pissed you off when we were talking in chat one time. You kept bringing it up. I'm like, why is she so mad about that? You literally get 0 bad comments. You're
I
winning.
don't. Well, I don't because I think people just they're very kind and careful with my feelings because maybe they see I'm a little fragile. I can sense it. But Adam, what kind of a thick skin do you have to deal with hate on TikTok and what is that like? Does your wife ever read the comments? Does she ever get pissed?
Oh, I would like
Yeah,
that. I would
yeah,
know
she
that.
does.
What's up, Adam?
She
Because
How'd
like
gets
your
my
in
wife
there.
feel?
husband wants to call people sometimes.
Yeah, she gets in there sometimes and she'll comment back with some common sense stuff. But with the whole thick skin thing, I've learned over time that like people have bad days. People get on
Yeah.
the internet, they've got to let it out to somebody under someone's video. So most of the time, that's all I look at it like. They had a rough day. They hated punching into their 9 to 5. They got to come in my comments. They got to say something about it. So
Dang,
I
you're
just
such
let
a
them
good
vent.
dude. Dang, bro, you just became a Chick-fil-A commercial.
He's a southern
Yeah,
boy.
you know what? He just became. You ever seen that Chick-fil-A commercial that everyone has everyone has their own problem?
Hmm.
Everyone has a story, and
Yeah.
the freaking most depressing commercial I've ever seen in my life. Adam, you just brought it up, so I'm just bringing this up. Right, all right, we're talking. Look, in this Chick-fil-A commercial, you started off. I'm like, damn, we about to eat some chicken, right? That's how I'm thinking. Chick-fil-A. This dude walks in, and all you see is this little girl crying. She just lost her dad. This is a Chick-fil-A commercial, bro. She just lost her dad, like, and she's sitting there in the corner eating chicken, crying. And then the other one's like, he lost his job, or one says, she's going through a hard time in her marriage. This is a freaking Chick-fil-A commercial. Hear me out. The whole time I went from hype beast to like, damn, I'm gonna eat some chicken nuggets to
I'm crying.
I'm like, what's going on? And it's true. Everyone has a story, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has a day, and you don't know what kind of day they're having.
Right.
Yeah, you're a good dude, bro. Dang, bro, you're my favorite now. Shout out to Adam. Good dude.
So, as far as content creation, what has become like what tools do you use to create your content? Do you do everything on your phone? Do you have a special camera?
No, I actually tried the whole special camera thing here recently. I ordered one of those like Insta 360s is what it's called. It's like a little tiny camera that can come off of the base and it's like the size of your finger. And my lighting in my garage is the cheap Amazon LED lights, so it's not diffused enough, I guess, so it's causing really bad flickering.
Mm.
And instead of trying to fix my lights and do all that, I sent that camera back because it's pathetic that my iPhone can shoot better video than a $400 camera. So I just
Bro,
went back to using my iPhone.
oh my gosh, dude, he probably didn't even use it. You probably just turned it on and be like, I ain't doing this. He turned it on.
I shot one video. I was so mad that it was flickering with the anti-flicker on the camera,
You
and
were so pissed.
it was strobing out. I was like, whatever. I put it back in the box.
You remind me of Jamie. He's the same way. This guy's a nerd, right? I'm like, hey, Jamie, we got him a camera. Chelsea, we got him an expensive camera. He's like, all right, these guys, I'm gonna start using it. You know, I'm Jamie the cleaner. I'm gonna start using it. Not one time did he take it out the box. Not one time.
Did he return it for a refund?
No, he needs to send it back. Jamie, if you're hearing this, you need to send that mug back to my house. Okay.
How much was it?
It was like an FX30 with like $700 to $800 lenses, and he's like, "This is Jamie. This is you remind me of him. This is why I say it because you and him are the same. Like he doesn't wear hats, right? So we had just started the House of Rags, and we're walking. That we take the Tesla to get this custom hat, and I go, "Hey, Jamie, one." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take one of those mugs." You know, never wore it. Left it for 4 days on the counter. I was like, "That hat cost me $30, bro."
I think it's because
Frickin'
Jamie
hat
has
on.
great hair still. He actually has hair. I'm bald, so I wear a hat all the time.
Nah,
Is that your excuse, Eddie?
I've been bald since I was like 4, so testosterone's super high, man. I've been bald since I was like 4 years old.
I got a funny shaped head too. Check this out. I got like a cone up there.
No, you're doing good, bro.
It's
American
not bad.
History X.
You got a good shape head.
Hey, so I got a question for you. So, what's your go-to when you're doing a car for detailing and you're not doing videos for promotions or for other people? What's your kit look like?
Are you talking to me?
No,
Yeah,
to
you.
God. I'm talking to God. I'm praying. Yeah, I'm talking to you, bro. You're the one being
The
interviewed
guy
here.
front and center.
What do you mean? Like what chemicals am I using?
Yeah,
or...
what's your kit? What's your go-to if no one sent you anything, right? Nobody. Oh, I didn't know she had a question. If no
Dude,
one
you're like
sent you
reading my
anything,
mind.
and you weren't doing this TikTok BS, what would you use to wash your car, for the wheels, for the interior?
It's
If
funny you say that. So
no one sent you anything, remember? All right.
So if I'm not using any given product now, mostly on TikTok, I can link a lot of the products that I use. So I try to stick with the few brands that I use the most. But if I'm not videoing, and this was before I started getting things in the mail and free promotional products and stuff like that, I'm Dark Fury in the bug guts. I'm Dark Fury in the wheels. I'm putting some Chemical Guys Honeydew Snow Foam on
Come on,
there.
Eddie.
Snow foam hits different.
Super clean degreaser pre-wash. It's going down. So
Carlos would be so happy.
And Carlos is gonna subscribe to you now. You just said everything he loves. No, see, he's a super clean freak. I've been testing it. I'm trying to see if I can make my leather turn white in my car. No, for real. I have just, you know that, right? I have a section in the back of the car that diluted to like 1 to 30. I started at 1 to 10 and I was like, oh my gosh, it's sticking. So I had to dilute it 1 to 30. So I'm testing it on the back of the Cadillac to see if I get the white.
Dude, you just need to make the Serrano sauce. Like it's
I can't afford
so.
Dawn.
What's that?
the
I can't
dish
afford
soap.
Dawn dish soap is like $80 like an ounce. Stuff's expensive, bro. I'm a Pavala guy. What's that called? Pavala.
Palmolive.
Yeah.
Dude, I wonder if you were to take the super clean to like whatever his solution is and then put your neutral wash in it, because it is similar to like a hand soap. It's got kind of those conditioners within it, but it wouldn't be as aggressive. Maybe it wouldn't degrease like Dawn, but it might be safer.
We have to check that. That'd be smart. I do want to ask Adam something. So you said Chemical Guys, Honeydew Snow Foam, Dark Fury. You know, that's a Chelsea. Chelsea loves Dark Fury, bro. She loves
That stuff
it.
works.
Dude, I'm trying so hard to get
it. Bug Dirt Exterior though does the same thing 1 to 5. If you try it 1 to 5, you'll be like, oh, okay, he's right.
Did you see my last video, Eddie?
Yeah, I saw it straight.
I did Dark Fury 1 to 5. I did BDE full strength, and it was similar, but
Uh-oh.
I need a little bit more punch.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna just ask the chemist to make
But
it
the pH
nuclear.
was nicer. The pH was safer. I
I
will
think
say
it's
that.
10.5.
Yeah,
Cut it in
Dark
half?
Fury's probably like a 20 on a pH
No,
scale.
Dark Fury is 13.5.
No, it's almost 14.
Yeah, yeah. You
They
know
they
what's almost
actually keep
14?
saying we need to change the SDS because it's almost 14.
Garage Therapy has their Decon shampoo. It's a pH of 14.
Mhm.
So you could dilute it like Dark Fury 1 to 10, and it's a lot safer. I don't know. I have no idea. My opinion.
You
This is
get
my
that on your
opinion.
skin and you are burning.
Yeah, you burning, you feeling love. So,
Mhm.
hey, Adam, so you talked about all these products that you would have used if you didn't get stuff in the mail. You had an experience where you went on Facebook and you kind of got upset. There was this one product that you couldn't get to work right. Walk us through your rinseless wash experience.
Oh, we're going rinseless.
Yeah,
Okay,
talk to
so
me. Talk to me. What you don't like about it? What was the chemical you used that made you think like mother effer? I can't. I hate this. Like, bro, I've never seen you get mad before, and that pissed you off. Walk me through that. What was that like? What happened?
so my wife's car was pretty dirty. It was really cold outside. I didn't want to get the water hose out and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a rinseless wash. I'm gonna clean these wheels and tire. Well, not tires, but I'm gonna clean these wheels and I'm gonna clean this car with this rinseless wash that Eddie bragged about. With this, it was the Hero from ADS.
Yeah, it's a slapper.
That stuff is awesome. It smells great. It you put 2 ounces in 4 gallons of water and it's pretty slick. So I spray it on there. It didn't do anything for the bug guts. It was hard to clean a wheel and tire. It didn't do anything for tires. THOR,
Hear this, Eddie.
carpeted fender liners.
He wants his rinseless wash to be able to remove browning from tires.
Right. Yes. When I'm
And
cleaning,
because of that, it sucks.
Bro, Adam, let's take a step back because you said some things that I'm gonna have to call BS.
Go ahead.
All right. And I love that. I could tell by your eyes you pissed off. I can see it inside your face, bro. You look upset.
He's like,
Take
you
that
came
break.
for me, Chelsea. You
Yeah,
said you
he's
wouldn't
like, I
come for
can't believe
me.
this, man. So, so you saying it didn't remove bugs?
Right. If any bugs have been on paint longer than a week and it's not a coated vehicle, you might as well spray water on those bugs.
Oh my lord, you such a troll. You are such a troll, bro. Bro, all right. I could get the browning on the tires, right? But have you tried like using Prolidio rinseless?
Yeah, but then I
Alkaline?
gotta break the pressure washer out.
No, you don't need a pressure washer for that one. It's a rinseless wash, hot alkaline. You spray
Oh
it
yeah.
on. You spray it on, let it do God's work. Then you take a rinseless wash, spray it on top of that, and wash it. And it'll
So
clean your tires.
you could just wipe that clean afterwards
Yeah,
with a towel.
it's a rinseless wash. Yep.
So when we used that in North Carolina, we used the pressure washer and
That's between you, God, and
rinse
Nick
after.
Parks. I'm telling you right now, when we first launched that mug, it was supposed to. You're talking about Prolidio, not Primus, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's the acidic one, right?
No, they had the acidic and the hot alkaline one, so you could do both. So you could dilute it.
Purifica. That's what I'm
Well,
talking about.
Purifica is a soap, so you have to rinse that off. But Prolidio, acidic and Prolidio alkaline are rinseless wash. Hot alkaline, rinseless wash, acidic, and you just combine it with your rinseless wash. So you spray that mug on, I loving it. Take your Hero, spray it on top of that, and you'll get everything you want.
Here's what I want to do, Eddie. I want to make a video on how long it takes me to prepare for a rinseless wash, do the whole rinseless wash and dry the vehicle, and me doing a pre-wash, a foam, a contact wash, and drying it off.
All right.
And I promise you, I will be much faster with pre-wash, foam, contact wash, dry.
I can wash, clean, seal car with the rinseless in like 15 minutes.
I can too. And I mean, Ivan has said, if you are not familiar with rinseless wash methods and you are so comfortable with a contact wash, soap and bucket, obviously what you're more comfortable with, you're going to be more proficient in it. And rinseless washers, the more you do it, the faster you get. I'm like Eddie. I can do a wash, clean, seal in 20 minutes on a truck. So it just depends on, I guess, the comfort level and the routine that you get. You just have to do it enough, I think, to become more comfortable with it. But you've talked a lot about Labo Cosmetica. What are some of your favorite products from them currently that you're testing? Because I saw that video. They sent you everything under the sun.
He got more love than I did.
I got no love, FYI. Like
I brought him into the States. I got like one box. This man got the whole warehouse.
So Leale is a medium cutting compound from them. That stuff is great. We did the coating prep polish while I was there, and that stuff can cut and finish
Fiero.
fantastic. Is it Fiero? Is that what it is?
Leale is
Yeah.
the medium. Fiero's the primer that could cut and finish.
Yeah, for sure. So those two are some of my favorite as far as paint correction goes from them. They've got an interior scrub pad now. Hear me out. It looks similar to a Scrub Ninja, but it's hard to explain, but it's just a lot thicker to grab onto, and it's good for seat fabric, carpets, plastics, vinyl, everything,
What?
and
Where's
Was
it
it
at?
like
it's
PNS?
white.
Where's it at?
It's in the garage.
He's like, go
You,
get it.
you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
me
was
and Chelsea, we're gonna take you out for a second. Me and Chelsea gonna talk while you sell us lies here. Chelsea, you hear this man?
I do. I mean, I'm kind of intrigued. I like me a good scrub ninja.
He said it was better than a Scrub Ninja. How do you feel about that statement? Because I know you like auto fiber Scrub Ninjas, don't you?
I do. I also became a fan of the PNS interior scrub
Yeah,
pad.
Sydney did a good job on that one. You know,
That one,
she's
I like that it's a little bit bigger. It fits in my hand. I have pretty large hands for a woman. The
yeah.
scrub ninja sometimes can flip out of my hand because it's so small. So I do actually like a larger size one, but the giant pad from PNS that they have, that's almost too big.
I like the one you stick your hand in from PNS. That one's a real good one as well.
The finger one?
Yeah, it's like no, it's like I think City made it with like it's like it looks gray. It's like this big.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm talking
Yeah, that's the
about.
one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's a good one. What are your go-to chemicals lately while we're waiting for him? Like, what have you been using that's been different from your repertoire of um superior stuff?
I mean, Superior isn't always my go-to. When I've got a crappy interior that I have to use a lot of chemical, I will use Superior because it's more cost effective for me.
Mhm.
Um, Honestly, I've been really liking Sintra from Vonix for interiors and Typhon. They do really good job of kind of neutralizing the surface and they smell pretty good. Um, on exteriors, my go-to sealant has typically been the Griot's 3-in-1 ceramic wax, but I really want to try your ceramic
Look, I'm
sealant
gonna tell you
out
something
more.
right now because
I saw
Jamie,
that I saw that
only
video that you did kind of doing a torture test and I was blown away.
yeah, but you have to do it right. Here's the problem. Jamie is one of those sell the world on the idea that it could do everything.
Yeah.
I'm one of those use it like I wanted it to be used.
Yeah.
So like, use it on a wet car, spray it on
Okay.
straight on a wet car, dry, and then put your towels inside of
The
like a
microfiber
system.
wash, Renaissance.
Yeah, because it's gonna break it. All right, this guy's bag. Look at this guy.
Let's let's
Take that out of the bag, dog. Hey, you're muted. You're muted.
I'm trying to unmute him. How do we unmute Eddie?
He's gotta unmute himself. All right. Cannot unmute guests. Their mic's not connected. What's this man doing?
Do you do fingers?
Bro, you're muted, dude. Yeah. He's muted. Hey, fix your mic. Look, you're still muted. Fix your mic. This guy.
Are you doing me to take him out?
All right. Fix your mic. Come back. Is he back? Nope. His mic's still showing not working. It's us. It's us again. Hey, so yeah, when you use Infinity, do it with a wet panel.
Okay.
Do not do it dry on a microfiber.
Yeah, I did try it once like that and it streaked.
It's gonna streak the world, son. It was made to be used with water.
Pan sealant actually I was pretty impressed with as well.
Cancel is real good.
But I did have some issues with streaking as well with his and ended up having to do like a damp microfiber. So would you say in your experience that it's a similar
No,
moisture activated?
mine you can. I think if you with pans, if you go back over it with the same, like say you do pans first, and then you go the next day, you want to do pans on top of each other, it'll streak because it rejects itself.
Yeah. I've heard
Yeah,
it's that stout.
I think he's
So I
back.
don't know. I'm enjoying trying out new products on the market. When I'm doing details though, and I need like go-tos, lithium ceramic slam, Griot's 3-in-1 ceramic wax for protection. As
Ceramic
far as
slam is good.
what's up?
Ceramic slam, I love that stuff. Is good.
Yeah, white and silver cars, that's like my go-to.
Back.
And as far as polishes and stuff,
Can you hear
I
me?
don't know. I really actually this isn't a pitch. I've been enjoying your endgame compound because it is like 3D speed with wipe off, but it cuts amazingly.
Tap that. Yeah.
It doesn't like soft paint sometimes.
Oh, you just gotta use a soft pad. Look, what people don't understand is with a soft paint, if you use a real soft pad, you'll still get a medium cut. Soft pad,
Okay.
like go with like a black pad from Lake Country
Black.
or the black soft pad, or go with like the white pad from Vans or the blue soft one.
Uh-huh.
If you go with a soft pad, trust me, with Endgame,
Now, how have you been using it even on like Chevy black paint? Do you still get
oh,
micromarring?
I don't get micromiring. I just use a blue pad and I get none.
Okay. Because my go-to's always been Optimum Hyper Polish for like
Hyper
micromarring.
polish is good. It's a good freaking polish,
Yeah.
but the problem with that is we're so used to working compounds until it's clear, right?
Yeah.
If you work end game, you just need 2 or 3 passes, you're good.
Yeah.
You don't want to go too long with it. You can, but there's no need.
Is it SMAT or DAT?
It's both.
How can you be both?
Some type of German abrasive that is can't say much, but I'll tell you offline. It's think of it like a. I'll tell you offline. Why you fishing here? Stop fishing. All right, let's
I like learning.
it breaks up. So it starts as one and breaks up, and it's like a German abrasive that breaks down.
Okay.
So it starts as a mat and it breaks up as a. I don't know how to explain it. This is how you explain it to me, but it's imagine all these clumps.
We'll talk later.
All right,
Adam, show us this
Drago,
thing.
show us this thing. What is this? What that
It's like a
looks
bone.
What is that?
So this is the rough side that scrubs, and this is like a wool side. But this thing is so thick as far as like the fabric underneath the scrubbers, and it's
Hold it
like
in your
super
hand because you
durable.
got big hands, right? That looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, hold it.
Hold it like you
Grip
would
it.
scrubbing. Yeah, that's too tiny, bro.
Yeah, I would want something a little bit bigger. But you said it
Yeah, don't.
works.
Yeah, it's about twice the thickness of like a scrub ninja. So
Do you need thickness? Wouldn't that absorb your product? Because the idea behind the Scrub Ninja is that it kind of keeps the cleaner on the surface versus getting absorbed into the sponge.
right.
Does
So
that
this has that layer right
The saver
underneath.
applicator kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's patent. Well, let's call it something else so we don't get you don't get
The
the plastic seal
plastic
between
liner in between. I don't
in
know.
between the freaking thing.
I use Scrub Ninja so much, you can just tell I'm like,
Yeah.
or
Hey, we're
auto
fans,
fiber
Ian.
saver
Hey,
I don't know.
applicator.
I probably wouldn't buy this with my money, to be honest with you. It's like $15 for a.
The truth comes out now.
But it's really good though. It's really good. So
See, this is what I
there's
want to
that.
know. So you only named polishes from Lava Cosmetica. So I'm gonna ask a hard question, and this is, let's we're all honest individuals here, so
Yeah.
you can say no comment because you have a Fifth Amendment that you could leverage. Um, do you like their detergents, their soaps, or do you think there's other better soaps? Look me in the eyes when you talk. Don't no no don't sit there.
So so to be honest, they're really good. I got to train with Reggie to find out how to use them efficiently and effectively with them
Mhm.
properly diluted. So I haven't tried anything that can keep up with their 3 pH wash. I've heard that Chemex,
Stars and Stripes,
yeah, I haven't tried that stuff yet, so I don't know how it would stack up against
real
theirs.
slapper.
I've been wanting to try that stuff. So
So are you saying? Because I feel like you just did a real political answer. So the question is, do you feel like you would buy these with your own money if they weren't given to you because they're that good?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. That's all I wanted. Hey, all right.
they're really good. They're just a little bit pricey. So if I wasn't broke, for sure, I would buy them.
Let me ask you guys a question. Because I learned a lot from Jason Otter in this. He made a comment in one of the videos he did is spend your money on good chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about that statement? Because I lived that statement my whole detailing career. Like the first time I used honeydew snow foam was
Mhm.
when I bought it for a video. Before that, I would use everything at Dzieran, everything else. So what would you what are your thoughts on that comment? Like, spend money on good chemicals, and what do you define as a good chemical?
Adam, you
The
go first.
One of the main reasons I like Labo so much is it doesn't have so many. It's not so caustic. A lot of their chemicals are PFAS free, so it's not so bad for the environment. It's not so bad for your health, and they are still strong, get the job done chemicals. So if it was my opinion on this subject though is there's no cheat code to being a solid detailer. You can make Walmart products work great and get great
Mm-hmm.
results. And a lot of
Mhm.
people don't understand that. They think that there's going to be a chemical that's just going to make detailing not a job, make it not work. So it's always going to be work. And if you're willing to put in the time and effort, you can make Armor All look good. I've never really used Armor All, but
Now you capping. I call it crap. You capping hard, son. I'll pay you
No,
$100. I
Armor All
want you.
sucks.
I'll send you Armor All, and if you could use it for interiors, and it not look like the back of my neck in the summertime, greasy. My
if
opinion, I'll give you $100.
if you can make Armor All ceramic shampoo not completely stain your paint, I'll be right there with you because that stuff
This
sucked.
is our opinion, by the way. Chelsea's let's say our opinions,
That's my
I've
opinion.
never.
Yeah, and even the Armor All tire shine, don't do it.
bro.
Don't
I
do it.
use this tire shine in my. Let me tell you guys something. Now I want to hear Chelsea's answer, and then I agree with you. Suds Labs, Victor, go. His stuff's in Walmart. His stuff is good.
Good.
Like his stuff is real good. Uh,
Would I say it's the best? No, but it's good.
It's good, but he
Yeah.
has a pro line coming out, right? That is a little bit better. I see what Adam is saying is, I guess we do get hung up so much on you have to have the best products to be a better detailer. Where you've seen that one dude or one lady who buys all the name brand polishers, got every single piece of sandpaper, and I could take a Hercules and do a better job than them. I get that because skill, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that from a perspective of chemicals, there's some that do the job better
Yeah.
or quicker, and time is money. So that's how I feel. Chelsea, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I've tried some of the more expensive chemicals out there and they work, but for me, I sometimes can't justify the cost for if I were to maybe take an extra minute to let a different chemical dwell or maybe a little bit more elbow grease. Um, Sometimes the cost does not warrant, you
So
know,
you're saying,
its
okay, this is
effectiveness, but I think there is to a limit. Like I have rebought Naziol's Clean Ion Pro because it works. Is it more expensive? A little bit. I mean, it's actually pretty affordable. Like Wash Chems, I've tried their soaps. Per ounce, it's actually pretty expensive when you use it the way that they want it, but it works amazing as almost like a touchless soap. I think I'm still on the lookout for those chemicals that will give me, like you were saying, Adam, that will give me that deep cleaning without me necessarily having to tax myself because I'm 40. I'm getting tired of detailing. It's physically exhausting. So for me, I would actually rather spend a little bit more to make it easier on my body, but I can't justify like $100 gallon soap. I don't
okay.
care what it does.
So you're okay. I get both your points. Let me ask you
There's a
this.
limit.
So with chemicals, right? There's that Drago. You said it. Your list is your list. You could get it done, and you do it. Your stuff is phenomenal, by the way. I'm not sucking your butt cheeks either. I seen your work.
Thank you,
Looks
sir.
amazing, right? Um, what are your thoughts on ceramic coatings and prices? What makes a great ceramic coating, and at what price point is it too expensive for it to warrant something for your customer? Like, what do you think, Adam, on that respect?
I think a great coating can be around that $100 range. You can also get some for a little bit cheaper than that. But when I see a coating that's got a $300 price tag with it, that's not something I'm putting on my client's vehicle. That's just way too much, and I would have to charge the client way too much to install something like that. So, um,
What
but
coatings
as
are you
far as
using, Adam?
mostly Geon Mo's, that's one of the first coatings I started with using. It's great, and I don't have a lot of salt or
Yeah,
that
you're
kind of
Mississippi.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we deal with a lot of just road grime and rain, I
Okay.
guess. But so I don't have an issue with that coating clogging near as much as somebody would like up north. But I've put that on about 3 different vehicles that I do on they're a maintenance routine, and they were all around 9 to 12 months ago, and it's still beating just like it was the day of install. So those are working great. Now I did experiment with HPC 2.0. That is a consumer grade coating from Labo Cosmetica while I was over there, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up Reggie's ass, but those coatings are great.
I
He's
actually
got
did my
the
12-month review on that one. Not a review on YouTube, but when they first came out with HPT, whatever it's called, HPC 2.0, they had brought it to Pocatello during the winter 2 years ago, and we had it on my old boss's car, his Genesis. When Jamie came in, it was a year mark. I'm not gonna lie.
Hand
I
of
saw
God.
him, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just like, okay, guys, okay, these Italian people got it right, because the only place that I bricked was the hood because I did something stupid. I put something on it that I shouldn't have, but the rest of it was still going, and we got salt, snow, heat. So yeah, so are you making a shift then from Moe's to HPC?
For sure. They have HPC Pro, and that's one of the main reasons I went over there to get certified with that
Slapper.
coating. And that stuff, you can put that on there, walk away, and have a
15
full-blown
minutes.
conversation. Let it sit there, and you can come back and wipe it off. And it makes you question its durability with how easy it installs
Hmm.
on there. So,
Chelsea, I'm gonna send you one. You have to promise me one thing though.
do what now?
I'm gonna send Chelsea one, but you gotta promise me one thing, Chelsea. You gotta polish half the car and put it on half the car that you have the test on, so you can really put it to its paces. She
I
said,
don't know.
"Nah,
I
dog."
don't know if
She said, "Nah."
I'm so
You saw her
invested
face
in
at
this
him.
test. I don't know if I could do that.
"Nah, I'm good."
I could maybe put it on 2 different spots of the vehicle to test it vertically and horizontally.
No, I'm totally kidding. I'll send it to you. You can use it on a customer's car,
I could
but
just put it on an entire customer's vehicle and then have them come back in 6 months and 12 months and do updates like that. I'd be happy to do
I
that.
think you'll enjoy it because literally you could do it in the sun, and even if you leave it on there in a high spot, like the next day, you can wipe it off.
That sounds like a
Just
dream.
not the pro, the HPC 2.0. You can the
No,
pro.
Andreas actually talked about that in our last episode, and he said that he thinks that's one of the most underrated products on the market. So
It is
I
because
I was intrigued.
Labo ceramics to me before sucked, my opinion. But they really stepped it up with the Sam HPC Pro, HPC 2.0, the new Blindo, the ST. See, I know it all, Adam. You mean Adam, you and I, dog. All right, so Adam, you went from Moe's HPC. I installed Moe's for a long time. It's
You
actually one
don't
of the
like it?
coolest. No, no, dang, bro, you would ask me that. It's not that I didn't like
I
it.
love Moe's.
I think Moe's is a great coating. I really do think it's a great coating. Um, I didn't get the result you got. I mean, I did get one that surprised the crap out of me. So we were doing this video for Pan. I got the Soul GMC. I put Pure on. Have you ever tried Pure?
Mhm.
2.5 years. This sucker was. Can you see me rolling? It's pop out beating. I was like, what? I said, what? What? Yeah. So I would agree. They make good stuff. They make good stuff. I
Eddie,
just
what's your favorite brand right now? You've tried so many. Like, what is the one that like I know, and it doesn't even have to be on your site.
Yeah, my favorite coatings right now
Katiba.
are. I'm gonna say this, and people are probably thinking like this guy's full of crap, but I'm gonna name 5 because I use these 5 in my shop. I rotate them. Pans 3 year,
Okay.
ADS quartz, and I switch. Actually, I lied. I switch ADS quartz out for phobic.
Okay.
So pans coating, phobic, thick, sleeper. By the way,
I'm
Odin, and then the DIY details 5 year.
What makes you like the 5 year out of the 3 and 8?
Uh, price point. Price point, dog. Like, because you gotta like, I'm not gonna eat the cost for my customer, right? So I roll
Yeah.
it into they paying for it, so they pay for the bottle. They don't pay me to install it; they pay for the work to get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they pay me for prepping the car. Ceramic coating only takes like 15 minutes. So for me, DIY 5 year has been freaking great.
Great.
Quartz for a long time, great. Um, Clean My Pen is a sleeper. Everyone, that one, the 3 year is insane. Thick,
Yeah.
if you haven't tried Thick, it'll
I
surprise
ordered.
you.
I ordered
Odin,
it. I'm excited to test it.
yeah, it's so those are the ones I've been using lately. And now I'm testing out some other ones right now. So I'm testing out Luminous. from Korea. That was real good. McKee's. Oh, dude, man, my list has to grow because I just tested McKee's 2.0 Pro. If it wasn't too dang much, like McKee's 2.0 is a sleeper.
Yeah, it is. It
That
does
one,
clog easily, but it's amazing.
yeah, I'm fat. It's okay. I sweat easily. I still clean my body.
I didn't say that. I
No,
said the Pro 2.0 clogs easily. You understand the
I'm totally
words that are
trolling.
coming out of my mouth.
What's yours, Chelsea? What's yours?
I mean, out of the 35 I tested, Dzieran Mozivo was my favorite to apply because I like easy and I'm lazy. So that was like the number one. Um, I think honestly, Ethos Graphene, McKee's 37, all of their graphenes, the 5-year, 10-year are probably my go-tos though. Um, C6 Hydro Light
Oh, dang, I even
was
forgot
blown
about
away
that.
by how easy that was to apply, and the hydrophobics are just mind-boggling. But
Yeah.
D-Quartz Go, I did not do the application right, and I have to revisit that because I've had some tell me that theirs does not look like it does on my video. So I'm wondering if there was some issue. I love the way it looks in my video though, because it
I
practically
don't
sheets
like the
dry on the roof.
application. I don't like the application of D chords.
Yeah,
To me,
I've
it was
heard it's
harder.
a little rugged.
To me,
So
it was harder. So
yeah, I don't know if I want to commit to a whole vehicle because I don't know about you, Adam, when you're testing out products, um, like when they're new and you've never worked with them, how do you manage that learning experience with a new product and still filming? And then what happens if you don't like it? How do you
mm,
translate that on camera?
that's a good question.
The
Dang.
Nightmare in Pocatello. That video
You
is
just
so
throw it
funny.
on the roof?
With my coatings, I'll always put it on my truck first. That truck has been beat up and polished and coated with several different
So,
coatings.
Adam, you never just put it on a customer's car as the
Uh,
test?
no, if it's a really nice, expensive car, I don't risk it because it might have to be polished off, and I don't know. It's just a lot of extra work. So
Dang, I'm an idiot then because
No, I do the same thing, Eddie.
I
I
tested
might
on
give it
customer's car and it's a nightmare. Like Nazios first, I'm not kidding to you. This was supposed to be the easiest job in the world. I polished it. I've done this 1,000 times. No joke. ZR53, it's literally 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to finish this so I can be with my family the next day. Put that mug on the panel. I come back. I was like, oh, bro. I was like, oh. Put it on the other panel. The F word came out of my mouth like 18 times. I was so pissed. I was like, I can't believe this crap.
I
Customer
cannot.
comes the next day and says, "What is this spotted calf?" You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I had to repolish the whole car. I had to tell him, "Hey, leave." I lost $1,200 because I had to give him that detail for free.
Holy crap.
So then Nazio reached out to me, and this is when I found my love again for ZR53, right? Because ZR53 is another coating that's real good. He sent me another bottle. I did it on another car. See, I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm one of those like full send yellow, and
Maybe it was a one freak off.
my Your Able app, I just put what coating I put on there. So if they come back and it fails, I'm like, all right, this coating sucks. I'll never use it. Like
Yeah.
I'll show you notes if I have. Like I had one coating that cost me like $200. Put it on this guy's car. Adam, literally 6 months, flatter than my ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about? All right, but anyway, so I get down, I get this other car that comes in. It was a Lexus. I'm like, I pray the whole time, Lord, please, Lord, please. I'm like, this has to be. I'm sitting there like the whole time. My wife's like, you're stupid. I'm like, I got a full send. Take it out of the box. I shake that, and I'm praying over it. Like, put it on. I was like, this is the best experience I ever had of a coating in my life. So, I can see why you don't do that, Adam, because it's stupid.
So that can happen with any coating, right? Like they could have a bad batch, or
Not like,
it's
dude,
just
it literally
unfortunate.
cured on the paint, Adam. 10 seconds.
Mm.
I
Oh,
couldn't
I
even
hate
get to. I couldn't even get to the towel to wipe it off.
I can't stand coatings like that.
10 seconds. I go grab the towel and then I had to polish it off.
Oof.
That was a nightmare, bro. Nightmare.
I had one coating like that, and I polished stupidly my husband's entire truck, black truck, crew cab with it. I was just like, maybe this one panel was bad, and just kept going, and it just was. I was sweating so profusely and swearing every single. I'm like, second. And the next morning I polished everything off and recoated it. I was, yeah. I don't know. I think for me, when I'm starting to test out a product, if it goes bad with the hood, I abort and just end up polishing everything off and then go from there. But sometimes it is a Hail Mary and you're praying a lot before that detail to make sure. I've had some where I'm like literally like hand shaking, like nervous that it's going to suck, and then it turns out fine. But what are some of the things that you would tell people that want to get into detailing, Adam?
To stick with it. So if you're somebody with a poor work ethic and you don't, enjoy doing work, detailing's I would probably tell them just go ahead and throw in the towel, not to detail, because it's going to be work. It's going to be hot some days. It's going to be cold some days. And if you're not planning on being consistent or sticking with it, um, just keep that in mind. So if you start doing it, just stay with doing it. The more you do it, the more efficient you become, the more techniques you learn. You get a little bit faster with it over time. When I first started detailing, it was taking me almost 2 days to get through a vehicle inside and out because I couldn't just let
Lord.
things go. So I've narrowed it down to a day now. So I try to get it done within an 8-hour time frame in case the client's working and I need to get it back to them or something like that. So
How many cars do you do in a week
it's
on
usually
average?
six per week. I do one a day, and I schedule about 6 days a week. I take Sunday
Holy
off.
crap.
What
How do
a
you spend time with family?
what a
Uh,
goat, son.
that's nighttime festivities. So like, I hang out with them once I'm done with the detail, but Sundays is my day to clean rags, service equipment, empty vacuums, all kinds of stuff to try to keep up with that. And I'm hoping one day I can get to a point where I can say no to clients, but when people right now when my phone's ringing, I've got to answer it. It's just it's a habit. So
How old are you,
um,
Adam?
I am 31.
Okay. So you're grinding now so that you can maybe enjoy it later on in life. Like, what is your goal with your detailing business? Like, what is it that you're shooting for the next 5, 10 years?
So I would like to eventually build me a barn dominium to where I have a heated and cooled, a drain in the floor wash bay indoors, and I would like to have my house attached to it or above it or something along those lines. So that's my main goal, and I feel like once I get there and get a little bit more space, I could potentially hire an employee or two to kind of help me keep up with things. So
That's awesome. When it comes to content creation, what would be your three best suggestions or tips to help people get started and grow their channels?
um,
Maybe I shouldn't have hit you with three, but what
Dude,
would be
you hit him with that question, and he
I
just
just wanna know, it's more I
his
feel like there's
eyes
more
glazed
than
over.
one. I feel like there's more than just one key to content creation, but let's just take the number off of it. What would you say are the best tips for growing on or on social media?
this might sound kind of rude to say, but like some people got it and some people don't as far as grinding. So
It's
if
true.
you're not willing to put in the work to edit a video for hours on end, you got to sit there and move clips around, adjust sounds, the zoom of every
Mhm.
clip. If you're not willing to sit there and put time out to do that at least a couple times a week, um, it's not as easy as everybody makes it look. So like
Mm-mm.
Eddie, uh, Chelsea, you guys make it look easy. That's not the case. I'm struggling with 3-minute videos. So, but
How is it like when you're trying to do all of that with a family? Like, does your wife get annoyed with you and all the social media stuff?
she's on team grind, so she understands. She helps me out a ton with
That's awesome.
everything.
And you
So she
saw it
supports
at
me.
SEMA. She was part of she was tired, dude. They just had come in. This is what I thought about these two. First impressions are everything, right? I think they just flew in. It was late at night. Everyone was at the West Gate, at the, smoking cigars. We were smoking cigars. I don't know at that time we were smoking cigars or not. And his wife was tired, but she was still there. She was still there. She was still grinding, and you could just see it on her face. Like it was a long day for her. Your wife's a champ, dude. You
Thank
better
you.
hold on to that. Don't mess that up.
For sure.
I'm
We've been married for 10 years now. We've been together for a little over 12 years. So it's we're doing great.
Yeah, man, your wife's a champ, dude.
I'm not dogging on my husband. He told me if I ever go to SEMA, he'll come with me, but he'll like straight up be in the other building looking at all the cars. He's like, "You go do your thing. I'm gonna go do my thing." That's what 15 plus years of marriage looks like.
And I'll
Eddie,
put it in perspective for you. Like the night before we left to go to SEMA, that's a 2-hour fall back in time from where we live now. We
Mhm.
both slept about 2 hours the night before we left because we had a sick kid at the same time. So, and I don't really sleep much anyways. I usually sleep 4 to 6 hours every day. But we didn't sleep much. We jumped on a plane, went back in time 2 hours, and we were still out that same night until like midnight. And then go to the hotel, slept about 3 or 4 hours, got up and started the day with SEMA and everything. So she is a huge supporter of what I've got going on.
That's awesome. Well, I know we've been doing this about an hour and a half. I always end my podcast with this one question, and you probably hit on it a little bit, but if you were to go back in time and give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
Mm.
Because you got the most grind I've ever seen out of anybody.
It's not
That's
like
what,
you and Jamie's.
no.
It's
It's there, bro. Like,
yeah, they're mad respect.
I would like to hear what you would say to your younger self.
I would probably tell myself to stick with it. That's the best I've got as far as consistency. It doesn't matter how much you suck. If you're consistent with it, you will grow over time. You will get better with it. I'm still not where I want to be with editing videos, but I go back and watch some of my old content and I'm like, wow, that's really cringe. So it's just to stick with it, stay consistent.
Well, I think I can speak for Eddie. You've got a bright future ahead of you if you keep doing what you're doing. Like you make some phenomenal content. You're just a really genuine, like great personality guy. So I
Thank you
wish
so
you
much.
nothing but success. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Adam, for joining me on this episode. I learned a lot. This was like super engaging. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it. I know this was pre recorded, so they're hopefully going to be watching this live. And if you guys had questions or things like that, hopefully you guys will be able to join in and answer them. But thank you guys so much for joining us. What I'm really excited, you talked a little bit, Adam, about your goal is to kind of have like a barndominium with a detailing shop on it. Next week, our guest is going to be Kelly Jones from Royal Reflections. She literally, top of the world, mortgage, financer, lost everything, was living in her car, and now living the dream, has a detailing shop connected to her home, thriving business. So I'm really excited to have her on next week to kind of be inspired by her and find out a little bit more of her story. So hopefully you'll tune in. Maybe she'll give you the floor plan for her house. But thank you guys for joining me. I know this was very impromptu. It was a blast. And we will see you guys next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. over at the THOR YouTube channel. And we'll hopefully have a great rest of your week.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
I love
No
you,
problem.
Adam.
All right. See you online, guys.
Bye-bye.